All right, so for today's deep dive, we're looking at a piece of hardware that's probably right under your nose, but you've been trained to ignore it,
Definitely. We're talking about the Kramer TBUS-1AXL-B.
which is the very technical name for that black box in the middle of the conference table that hides all the cables.
That's the one, the unsung hero of the modern meeting room.
Exactly. And our mission today is to figure out, how this thing actually works. We'll get into the tilt-up lid, the whole modular system, and the part that's actually a little terrifying, the installation.
It is high stakes. This isn't like clipping on a webcam.
Yeah.
This involves power tools and some very expensive furniture.
Okay, so let's start with the basics. I was looking at the product page, and the price is listed at about $160. So you order it, you open the box. What do you actually get?
You get a very nice black anodized aluminum enclosure, a box.
And that's it.
That's it. And, this is the thing that catches so many people out.
Right. The source material is really clear on this. You are not buying the outlets. You're not getting USB ports. You are literally buying a hole with a lid on it.
It's a chassis. It's like building a custom PC. You buy the case first. If Kramer sold this thing preloaded with ports, it would actually be a much worse product for its audience.
Because every office setup is totally different.
Totally different.
Yeah.
Imagine they pre-installed 2 HDMI ports, but your office uses DisplayPort and USB-C. The whole unit would be useless. This way, by selling an empty shell, they've created a whole ecosystem.
Okay, so let's talk about that ecosystem. The docs mentioned these TIA inner frames. How does that work?
So think of the enclosure as the bucket. The TI frame is a bracket that you snap inside that bucket.
Okay.
And there are 6 different frames to choose from. So depending on which one you pick, you can fit, say, up to 4 power sockets or maybe 6 different cable pass-throughs.
And I saw a slot for Kramer tools. That's their own line of hardware, right?
It is. So you could physically mount, like a small video switcher or an amplifier, inside the table itself, completely hidden under the lid. No more gear taped to the underside of the desk.
That's pretty neat. And what about power? The data sheet really emphasizes its global compatibility.
Oh, that's crucial. They have 8 different single and 8 dual power socket options. So if you're outfitting an office in London, you just drop in the UK power module.
And if you're in New York, you use the US one.
Exactly. But you have to get the right power cord to go with it, a specific CAC cord. You can't just, jam any old cable in there.
So it feels like a bit of a logistics puzzle. You've got to order the enclosure, the frame, the sockets, the inserts, the cord, all as separate items.
It is a puzzle, yeah.
Yeah.
But the payoff is getting everything exactly how you need it, perfectly flush with the table.
But once you have all those pieces, you reach the point of no return.
The cutout.
Yes, the cutout. I saw the dimensions. It's 19.1 centimeters by 15.2 centimeters.
Or 7.51 inches by 5.98 inches. And that precision is everything.
7.51, not 7.5. Mm-hmm.
Right. Because if you cut that hole just a little too big, the lip of the enclosure won't cover the gap, and you've just destroyed a $5,000 conference table.
There is no undo button on a jigsaw.
Not to one. But once it's in, it does have clamps underneath to grip the table. And you can adjust the connector depth, which is nice. So you can sink the plugs deeper to let the lid close, even when things are plugged in.
And I have to ask, since we're talking about putting live electricity into a wooden table where people spill coffee, there are safety standards for this, right?
Oh, absolutely. The
Yeah.
unit is UL and CE qualified. It's rated to operate from, I think, +5 to +45 degrees Celsius.
So normal indoor office temperatures.
Exactly. It's designed so that even with power bricks running inside that little metal box, it's not going to become a hazard.
So if we were to sum this all up, the Kramer TBUS isn't really a product you buy off the shelf. It's more of a high-end build-it-yourself kit for architectural technology.
That's a great way to put it. It demands that you plan ahead, manage a complex order, and yes, cut a hole in your furniture. But the result is a workspace that feels intentional, not just accidental.
It brings up an interesting final thought. We spent all this time talking about the future being wireless Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, casting our screens, and yet here we are, still physically cutting holes in tables for heavy-duty ports.
Mm-hmm.
Does the fact that this hardware is so popular suggest that when it really matters, we still don't trust wireless to run our most important meetings?
It certainly seems that when you absolutely need it to work, the physical cable is still the only thing we truly trust.
Something to think about. Thanks for listening to this deep dive.